This is Rick Party with Rick Party's Notebook, news from around the world and in our communities from my perspective.
And by the way,
my son... Wait a minute. Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word.
No, I'm not asking. That was a rhetorical question.
That was Chris Wallace along with Joe Biden and President Trump at the first presidential debate for 2020, and it got completely out of hand as Trump talked over Biden, didn't respect the moderator's wishes to just shut up.
You have repeatedly criticized...
I have to answer his statement.
No, you have
his
repeatedly...
Statement. Wait,
you have repeatedly... No, you've been talking back and forth.
He made a statement.
I'm asking you...
I would love to end it.
Sir,
I would love to end it.
You know, if you want to switch seats...
Trump could really never stay on track. He was very defensive. He pouted a lot, made faces. He talked over Biden. And he really just didn't answer any real questions, especially the question about condemning white supremacists.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing
to
do
specifically
that, but
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
Most people miss that. Not only did he not announce this supremacist group, the Proud Boys, but he said, Proud Boys, stand back, but stand by. Now, most of us missed it because we don't know who the Proud Boys are. But according to Wikipedia, the Proud Boys is a far-right, neo-fascist, male-only organization that promotes and engages in political violence. Stand back and stand by. He said it so quickly you missed it. But let me play it again for you.
Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
You know, I would have said, well, maybe he was talking so fast and he didn't understand the question and didn't realize that he didn't really answer the question. But he kept going for it. I mean, I would have paused and said, let me make this very clear.
Stand back and stand by.
Nah, that would have been too perfect for Trump. But in his mind, the far right, alt-right, white supremacists, poor boys play on Proud Boys. And the KKK, they're choir boys. And Antifa is the problem, according to him.
Because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing
problem. White supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
malicious. That's what his FBI. His FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
When a bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody in your administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous,
all right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
We're now moving on to the Trump and Biden records.
They'll overthrow you.
When a president,
President Trump says Antifa like it's a bad word. Now, actually, it's not bad. In fact, it's people who are tired of the bullshit. They're tired of the racism. Antifa is short for anti-fascism. Antifa. I don't even think President Trump knows what the name derives from. I don't think he even understands what fascism is. They're anti-far right. They're anti-neo-Nazi. They're anti-white supremacists. Short name, Antifa. Anti-fascism. These are people tired of white supremacy. And family members. Family members are off limits. And I almost wanted to give Joe Biden a hug after Trump verbally attacked his son.
He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking about Hunter? Are you talking about Hunter?
I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. Once you
None
became
of that
vice
is
president,
true.
What in the whole hell does someone's family member having a substance abuse problem have to do with anything? I mean, come on. Again, this is where Trump loses people. This is where he should try to win over a person's vote. And before I play this next clip, I got to bring in someone whom I affectionately call Mommie Terri. When my mom was alive, she and Mommie Terri had a chance to meet over 20 years ago, and they were great friends until my mom's passing in May 2019. Mommy, we were watching the debate from a distance, me in Florida and you in Georgia. Now, I know how I felt. Tell me what you were feeling when you saw Joe Biden's face as Trump spoke negatively about Biden's son, Hunter.
It was painful. It was so painful. I felt it in Joe's whole body. I felt it in his eyes. I felt it in his soul.
Right.
I mean, you just could feel the whole thing. You know, he lost his wife and his baby daughter at a young age.
Right.
And then he tried to raise those sons. And then for Trump to attack him that way.
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use.
And he didn't do it once. He didn't do it twice. He kept doing it over and over again.
And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. Once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made
son,
a fortune.
My son.
And he didn't have a
You know, after the debate, I could almost see Joe Biden going home, just burying his face in the pillow, crying after knowing the loss that he's endured. And everything you just mentioned, right?
Right.
This part of the speech right here, you can really hear the pain in Joe's voice as he defends his only living son.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
God, when I heard that, I was like, I really felt bad for Joe, Mom.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. And you could see how Joe's eyes watered up.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was sad. And, I don't see how any supporter of Trump's was a supporter after last night.
Mommie Terri, thank you for hanging out with me for a bit. I love you so much, and I'll give you a call later.
Oh.
All right, Rudy Giuliani thinks that Biden has dementia.
He can't do the prologue to the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence, any of them.
Rudy Giuliani is a former mayor of New York City. He's just a classic loudmouth. He's that one rude uncle who needs to just stay locked up in the basement. That's who he is. So he's on Fox talking to the hosts. Now, the hosts are quiet. They're just watching him and listening to him as he alleges that Joe Biden is suffering from dementia. Take a listen to this.
The man has dementia. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've talked to doctors. I've had them look at 100 different tapes of his 5 years ago and today.
The Biden people say he's fine.
He can't recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and he's fine. He was in the Senate for 160 years.
So at this point, while he's trying to bring down Biden, he can't seem to find the words himself. And there's like an awkward silence from the Fox hosts as they're just watching him just self-implode, trying to speak so negatively about Biden, but he can't seem to get his own words out.
I mean, he can't do the prologue to the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence, any of them. He can't do numbers. Wow, are the numbers screwed up? He actually displays symptoms that two gerontologists told me are classic symptoms of middle-level dementia. Right. That's when he does that, I pledge allegiance to the United States. I think done that twice.
Oh, that's so classy. That's so classy of him. I mean, You know, when I think about this, these are the people we vote into office. And then when they're out, they show you who they really are. But to do this about Biden?
I think done that twice.
You know, there's an old saying that goes, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Now, I don't know who gets this from whom, but what Rudy Giuliani did is reminiscent of what President Trump did to a reporter.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said.
This man can't lead our country. He's not the dude. This is not someone who I would want my child to look up to. Not at all. And has nothing to do with party affiliation. It's just the person, point blank, period. We need someone who we can trust. People already know what they don't like about you. The American people right now, they need affirmative details. They need affirmative action. They need something that's tangible. They don't need talk anymore. They don't need the promise of the platinum plan for the black community. They don't need that, because if you really want to do that in the beginning, you would have done it. But it's so typical for someone who holds the seat to promise all the things they're going to do if you vote for them. Nah, we'll pass. No more pandering. No more celebrity endorsements. We don't have to get the biggest A-list star or the biggest rap artist for people to make up their minds. That alludes to the belief that you don't think that we as black people can think for ourselves. We don't need anyone to do the ditty for us. We're not asking for that. It's very simple. People need honesty. That's it. Be honest. Be honest. That's all we need. In the meantime, everybody else, make sure you guys get out there and vote and free Mumia Abu-Jamal. That's all I got in my notebook for Rick Party's Notebook. News from around the world and in our communities from my perspective.